Oh, hello again.
Right. Well, I thought I'd just pop back just in case, since you suggested,
Oh, well,
but
give it till 5 past possibly, but
and you can go and have birthday cake.
I can go about it. Okay, yes.
Uh-huh. So, are there other things that we need to be doing?
Lots, I think, but
I'm afraid so.
no, I need to. Writing. I think I'm trying to do things on the policy side. I wanted to make some comments on the wicked problem and draft things on policy for the policy paper, and also then today's task is looking at the policy bit of the
Yes.
modelling paper.
If you could, I don't know about your thoughts on ordering of that, but since I was supposed to be chipping in on the I can't remember which paper it was. Is it the oh, is it the policy? It's the policy one, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
On the one and the first couple of sections.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes.
So if you were doing that, if I were going to chip in on it, it would be helpful to be able to do that over the weekend.
Brilliant. Yes. I mean, what I'm hesitating on there is I need to go through all the papers I've been saving through the year on my computer.
That's a bit.
There are a lot of papers. There are a lot of articles and papers that a lot of articles and papers that I've thought, oh, that's relevant to thinking about policy and so on. So
it's us again.
It's
yeah,
us again.
I leave then soon again.
Yes, well, I think we're just going to stick it out for another couple of minutes, just in case.
We're just discussing the policy paper where we're both supposed to be
chipping in a bit,
involved in writing bits. I think the other thing on my plate I ought to do is get back to Jess to encourage her along.
Yeah.
And maybe also specifically ask about the elimination or university one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it would be good to have a bit more information about where she is on both those two, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Or where anybody is on them.
Yes.
But it looks horribly as if we're going to have to do something about interventions as well.
Yes. I had a feeling I'd been had message or something from Miriam not very long ago, but I can't find anything since before Christmas.
Yeah, before Christmas you sent some things out.
Let me just look on mine, see if I've got anything.
I mean, the draft she produced, it looks a very good start in terms of as a set of notes, call it,
Yeah, nothing, unless there's anything on the Slack channel, there's nothing in my email.
I've looked there too. No.
Have you? Okay.
The last email I got from Miriam was at 23rd of December, which was also sent to you, 7:59 your time.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I think, and is there nothing in, you said you've checked Zoom. I don't mean Zoom, I mean Slack.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, there's nothing there since the 9th of December, is there? So, right.
Okay.
Okay, well, it's lovely to see you both again.
Yeah, and this was the last time for the day, I guess.
I think
have a good weekend.
And all right. Take care. Bye.
Nothing else, Valerie?
No, I don't think so. So, as I say, I don't know. Well, I know you say you've got to read all that stuff.
Well, I think I think what I need to do is to at least sort of catalogue it. I mean, I could probably produce a list of things with a sentence reminding myself why I kept them, which would be And then if I do, my hope would be if I do that, I'll decide there are only 2 or 3 I really need to read carefully. But
I mean, we've got some notes already on those sections.
I mean, the thing I want to face up to, I mean, perhaps because I'm one of the more politically minded of the people involved here, is just that it's just there seems so many reasons why governments don't behave for the best with respect to this kind of problem. And some of them, of course, are because it's a wicked problem. Some of them are just because it cuts across them. And it does depend on the type of government and the problem, the difficulty, and this is where I'd hope to find someone who's written on it, is to find the language to try and point out there's a generic problem without, as far as possible, without naming names. In other words, to say governments find it difficult to do this because of this, without sort of, I mean, possibly in some way pointing at examples, but as far as, I suppose one probably has to, well, it probably refers to, I mean, I suppose in a way, the Olympian sort of way to do it is to write something where you don't actually name a single government yourself, but you give references to papers which in a reasonably balanced way mention countries that have done badly. But it's
but I mean, this is challenges. We are thinking about challenges for modelers rather than challenges for government. No, I mean,
yeah, well,
so
I think one needs to say a little bit, if only as context.
No, I'm sure one does. I mean,
because
obviously,
I suppose the problem, if you're a modeler, the problem becomes: is there anything we can say that will persuade governments to get around this problem?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So
can we help?
perhaps,
I mean, as a simple example, possibly, is if governments don't do something because they think it goes down badly with the public, because can we think of a way of phrasing it that will help governments to communicate to populations why they need to do it?
Yeah, and I think that's a good example, and another one I think might be something to do with timescales. That.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I think it's exactly. I think, and that's, that obviously chimes with politics. It's if you want to point out that a problem has to be thought about in the long term, and I suppose if one makes which is why governments need to find a way of supporting long-term research, long-term surveillance, mechanisms which might lie dormant for a number of years, but can leap into action when they're needed. So,
I don't understand why I mean, I know governments are, short-term by definition, but civil services are not. They're meant to sort of smooth everything out for the longer term, but it doesn't seem to work.
But of course, but of course, one of the problems, and this in a way relates to this one. There's a problem. I might sort of, if one thinks this through, there are points one will come up with that maybe one can bounce off some of the other people. I was thinking, for instance, economists. I mean, one of the reasons that the response in this country and quite a number of others perhaps has been bad is we have an economy that has come to rely on just in time provision of things. And if you're talking about delivering the right amount of fresh vegetables to supermarkets to sell, it's a very, very, or the parts to car manufacturers, it's a very slick system that works very well. But I think it's that sort of mentality goes along with not stockpiling protective equipment and this kind of stuff. And a number of countries which have done conspicuously well are ones which, because I think some of the countries that did well in the Far East did have stockpiles of things like masks and whatever you might need, and did have spare hospital capacity and this kind of thing, because they had reasonably recently suffered a pandemic.
Mm.
You know, they might be for other reasons too, but that would be an obvious reason. They were taking the line that they needed to have stocks of things. So, and another sort of economic example there, I think, would be the Tamiflu thing, if you remember, where governments spent a lot of money
Yeah,
on treatment for flu, which
and got
turned out not to be
absolutely,
needed.
and
But-
of course got berated by it. And I think
But
one
which, from a long-term perspective, one might say, very good that they did it, and that's the kind of
yeah,
loss you need to accept for
Mhm.
having a precautionary mindset.
I think there's also, you know, with the stocks of PPE and stuff, I think there's been this feeling perhaps that we're a moderately wealthy country. You know, if we need stuff, we can buy it in. You know, we don't need our own manufacturing base because we can get it we can import it. And all of a sudden it came as a big shock to discover we couldn't import all the masks or ventilators or whatever else it was that we wanted at short notice, because other people wanted them too. And I don't think that had, you know, you got the impression that hadn't crossed anybody's mind, that we wouldn't be able to get it when we wanted it.
Yeah.
So I think that, you know, but in terms of modeling, I think we can say something about timescales, particularly because we can sort of point to, you know, I suppose the frequency with which these, well, I mean, if we only think about epidemics, they come round quite a few in a decade. Not all of them will be really serious for the UK, but
Yeah,
you know, it's not unexpected. So they need to do that planning, and they need to be better prepared. But yeah. Anyway, okay, we both better get on, I think.
okay, have a good
And
weekend.
yeah, and you. I should be trying to catch up, I think.
Okay,
Enjoy tea. Wish him a happy birthday.
thank you.